Did you know that betrayal is one of the most devastating experiences for a Sigma female? When someone breaks their trust, it shatters more than just the relationship, it destroys their sense of security. Trust isn't something Sigma females give away lightly, and once it's broken, things will never be the same again. Sigma females are the embodiment of independence. They're strong, self-reliant, and their loyalty is as fierce as it is rare. They don't rely on others for validation, but when they choose to trust, it's an unspoken bond. A bond that, once broken, creates a ripple effect, one that no one sees coming. When a Sigma female is betrayed, it's not just an emotional wound. It's a seismic shock to her core. She's not used to depending on others, and when that bond is shattered, it's not just her heart that gets hurt. It challenges everything she believes about loyalty, love, and trust. On the outside, she may seem composed, but deep inside, the pain runs deeper than anyone could imagine. Imagine this. A Sigma female has opened up, shared her world with someone, only to be stabbed in the back. It's not something she does often, and when she does, it's a big deal. A Sigma female, by nature, doesn't easily trust others. She values her independence, her strength, and the ability to stand on her own without depending on anyone else. But even the most self-sufficient women sometimes feel the need to connect with others on a deeper level. She shares pieces of herself with those she believes are worthy of it. Whether it's a close friend, a family member, or even a romantic partner, she chooses to trust them with her thoughts, her feelings, and the personal aspects of her life that are usually kept behind walls. When she lets someone in, it's an act of vulnerability. She's exposing parts of herself that she's kept hidden for a long time. She's giving them access to her inner world, and that's something she doesn't do lightly. This trust she gives is sacred to her. It's an unspoken bond, something she values deeply. But what happens when that trust is betrayed? When someone she opened up to turns around and breaks that bond? The feeling is brutal. It's like a storm tearing through her. All the walls she had so carefully built around herself, the ones that protected her heart and soul from the world, suddenly feel like they're crashing down. The shock of betrayal feels like being blindsided by a powerful force. She never saw it coming. She never imagined that someone she trusted so much would betray her. It could have been something as simple as a lie, or maybe it was something much more severe, like a betrayal from someone she loved and cared for deeply. It could be a close friend who secretly undermines her, a partner who turns out to be dishonest, or a family member who betrays her trust in a way that cuts to the core. The pain isn't just emotional, it's physical too. It's a deep ache in her chest that she can't shake off. It's the gut-wrenching feeling of being stabbed in the back, of realizing that someone she held in high regard has now become the source of her pain. What happens next? How does she cope with this kind of betrayal? She doesn't cry out for sympathy. She doesn't seek the approval of others to validate her hurt. Instead, she retreats. She pulls back into herself, away from the world that has now hurt her. She retreats into her mind, into the fortress she has built over the years to protect herself from the harshness of life. It's not a sudden reaction. It's a slow, deliberate withdrawal. She's not just pushing people away. She's retreating into the deepest corners of her own thoughts. Her mind becomes a sanctuary, a place where she can process the pain, the anger, and the confusion that comes with betrayal. She doesn't let anyone see how deeply the betrayal has affected her. She's too proud to show vulnerability. She's too strong to let anyone know that they've pierced through the armor she's built around herself. Instead, she withdraws into a world of her own, where she can think, reflect, and decide what to do next. She might not show it, but the pain of betrayal lingers in her heart. She doesn't want to be a victim of the situation, but it's hard to ignore the emotional toll it takes on her. It's not just the immediate pain she feels, it's the long-lasting effects that stay with her long after the event has passed. The emotional scars are harder to heal than the physical ones, and though she hides them well, they remain as a constant reminder of the betrayal. For a Sigma female, trust is not something she gives away lightly. It's something that is earned over time. But once it's broken, it's not something that's easily fixed. It's like a fragile piece of glass that's been shattered into a million pieces. No matter how hard you try to put it back together, the cracks are always visible. The trust she once had for that person is now gone. It's been broken, and it's no longer something she can rely on. The person who betrayed her might try to make amends, but for the Sigma female, the damage is done. The emotional wound may eventually heal, but the scars remain. She may forgive, but she'll never forget. That's the difference between a Sigma female and others. She doesn't forget the people who hurt her. She doesn't forget the ones who betrayed her trust. And while she may not hold a grudge, she will keep her distance. She won't let herself be vulnerable with that person again. The walls she's built around her heart will remain in place, and they'll be even stronger than before. The betrayal doesn't just hurt her in the moment, it changes her. It changes the way she sees the world, the way she sees people, and the way she interacts with others. It forces her to become even more guarded, even more cautious about who she lets into her life. She's learned a valuable lesson. Trust must be earned, and it can be broken in an instant. That's why she's so careful with the people she allows into her inner circle. She doesn't take her relationships lightly, and she doesn't tolerate betrayal. For a Sigma female, loyalty is everything. It's not just about loyalty to others, it's about loyalty to herself. She values her peace, her strength, and her independence more than anything else. When someone betrays her, it's not just a personal hurt. It's an attack on everything she holds dear. It's an attack on her values, on her sense of self-worth, and on her ability to trust others. But despite the pain, she moves on. She doesn't stay stuck in the past. She doesn't dwell on the betrayal forever. She takes the lessons from it and uses them to grow. She becomes stronger, more resilient, and more careful about who she lets into her life. And while betrayal may have shaken her, it never breaks her. She rises from it, more determined than ever to protect her peace and her heart. She doesn't need anyone else to define her. She defines herself, and no one will ever take that away from her. Before we continue, if you're finding this video eye-opening, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe, and comment below. Let me know your thoughts on betrayal and loyalty. The Sigma female is strong. She is independent. And once she's been betrayed, she is even more unstoppable than before. The people who no longer honor the sanctity of her trust, they're cut off. No questions asked. A Sigma female's trust is not something she gives away easily. It's a rare gift, one that is only given to those who prove themselves worthy over time. When she places her trust in someone, it's a significant gesture. She's showing that she values them enough to let them into her inner world. She's offering them a piece of herself, something that's incredibly personal and precious to her. Trust, for her, is not just a word, it's a commitment. And once it's broken, the consequences are severe. She doesn't believe in second chances when it comes to betrayal. If someone has crossed that line, there's no going back. For her, once the trust is shattered, it's like a glass that can never be put back together. There's no mending it. It's a fundamental rule she lives by. When someone breaks her trust, it's a direct reflection of their lack of respect for her. She sees it as a betrayal, not only of her loyalty, but of her character, and she won't stand for it. The person who has betrayed her might try to explain themselves, offer an apology, or ask for forgiveness, but for a Sigma female, the damage is already done. Apologies don't fix the harm that has been caused. The trust that was broken cannot be repaired with words or excuses. It's something that has to be earned over time, and once it's lost, it's gone. A Sigma female understands her worth and knows that she deserves to be surrounded by people who respect her and her boundaries. She doesn't have time for toxic relationships or people who can't be trusted. She values her peace and her mental well-being too much to allow anyone who has betrayed her back into her life. When someone breaks her trust, she cuts them off. It's not a decision she makes lightly, but it's one she makes decisively. She doesn't dwell on the situation or wonder if she made the right choice. She knows in her heart that she made the only choice that makes sense. There's no room in her life for someone who doesn't value her trust. The Sigma female understands that loyalty is something that is earned through actions, not words. She has a strong sense of self-worth, and she knows that she deserves to be treated with respect and integrity. She doesn't settle for less, and she doesn't allow anyone who doesn't honor her to remain in her life. Cutting people off is a way for her to protect herself. It's a way to preserve her peace and maintain the integrity of her relationships. She doesn't want to waste her time or energy on people who don't deserve her. When someone shows their true colors by betraying her trust, she doesn't hesitate to sever ties. It's a form of self-preservation. She knows that holding on to people who have hurt her only keeps her stuck in the past. It prevents her from moving forward and finding the peace and happiness she deserves. So she lets go. She releases the toxic person from her life and moves on. She doesn't look back. Once someone has broken her trust, there's no place for them in her world. She won't allow anyone to manipulate her into giving them another chance. She won't let anyone guilt-trip her into believing that forgiveness means letting them back in. She knows that forgiveness doesn't mean reconciliation. Forgiveness means letting go of the anger and pain for her own peace of mind, but it doesn't mean she has to accept the person back into her life. Cutting someone off doesn't make her cold or unforgiving. It makes her strong and self-aware. She understands that in order to thrive and be her best self, she needs to be surrounded by people who uplift her and treat her with the same respect and loyalty she gives them. She knows that by cutting off those who betray her, she's creating space for people who will honor her trust and contribute positively to her life. For a Sigma female, her inner circle is sacred. It's made up of people who have earned her respect and trust. She doesn't need a large group of friends or associates to feel fulfilled. She's content with the few people who truly understand her and value her. These are the people who have proven their loyalty through consistent actions. They don't need to constantly prove themselves because their actions speak for them. A Sigma female knows that the people she keeps close to her are a reflection of her own standards. She expects loyalty, integrity, and honesty from them, just as she gives those things in return. When someone breaks her trust, they are no longer worthy of a place in her inner circle. It's not about holding a grudge or punishing them. It's about knowing her worth and not allowing anyone to take advantage of her. Cutting someone off is an act of self-respect. It's a way of setting boundaries and protecting herself from further harm. She knows that life is too short to waste on people who don't add value to her life. She doesn't allow anyone to take her for granted. When it comes to trust, she is uncompromising. Once it's broken, it's gone. The people who have broken her trust may try to win her back, but she won't allow them back into her life. She doesn't need to explain herself or justify her decision to anyone. She knows what's best for her, and she's confident in her ability to make the right choices. Cutting someone off doesn't mean she's weak or heartless. It means she's strong and knows how to protect her peace. She doesn't allow others to dictate how she should feel or what she should tolerate. She sets the terms for how she is treated, and if someone doesn't meet those standards, they're out. The Sigma female knows that her peace is priceless. She won't let anyone disturb it, especially not someone who has shown they cannot be trusted. Trust is the foundation of every relationship, and once it's broken, there's nothing left. For a Sigma female, cutting someone off is an act of empowerment. It's her way of taking control of her life and making sure that she surrounds herself with people who deserve her time and energy. It's a reminder to herself that she will never settle for less than she deserves, and she will never allow anyone to disrespect her trust. Broken trust. The foundation of all her relationships is shattered. For a Sigma female, trust is everything. It is the cornerstone of every relationship she forms, whether it's a friendship, a romantic bond, or even a professional relationship. Trust is something that is built slowly over time, brick by brick, with consistency, honesty, and mutual respect. She doesn't give it away easily because she values it so much. She understands the power of trust and knows that once it's earned, it's one of the most sacred things you can offer someone. But when that trust is broken, it's not just a small crack. It's like a massive earthquake that shakes the very foundation of everything she's built. It doesn't just impact her feelings in the moment, it has long-lasting consequences. When someone betrays her trust, it's not just the act of betrayal that hurts, it's the realization that the very person she trusted, the very person she thought was worthy of her loyalty, has proven to be someone she can no longer rely on. That trust is shattered, and there's no easy way to fix it. She might try to rebuild it, but the cracks will always be there, and the damage is irreversible. It's not just about the loss of that one relationship, it's about the loss of faith in people. The emotional devastation she feels from betrayal alters the way she views everyone around her. She becomes more cautious, more guarded, because she now knows that even the people closest to her are capable of breaking her trust. For a Sigma female, betrayal is not something she can easily overlook. It's a violation of her core values, and once it's broken, the damage to the relationship is done. The foundation has been cracked, and no matter how hard she tries to fix it, the relationship will never be the same. She will always carry the weight of that betrayal with her, and it will color the way she interacts with others in the future. Social isolation. Betrayers are often left out of her life, no second chances. One of the most noticeable consequences of betrayal for a Sigma female is social isolation. She doesn't tolerate betrayal in any form. Once someone has proven untrustworthy, they are no longer welcome in her life. A Sigma female values her peace above all else, and someone who has betrayed her creates chaos in her world. She will not allow someone who has hurt her to remain in her inner circle. She doesn't give second chances. She doesn't believe in repeatedly forgiving someone who has already shown their true colors. Once the bond is broken, it's gone, and there's no room for that person in her life anymore. For her, social isolation becomes a defense mechanism. It's not about revenge or holding a grudge. It's about protecting herself from further harm. She knows that in order to keep her peace, she has to surround herself with people who have earned her trust and who won't betray her. This is why she cuts people off without hesitation. It's a way for her to preserve her integrity and her emotional well-being. She is careful about who she lets into her life, and once someone has shown they can't be trusted, they are no longer welcome. This act of cutting someone off can seem harsh to outsiders, but it's a necessary action for the Sigma female. She doesn't need to keep toxic people around. She doesn't need to give someone who has already hurt her another chance to do it again. For a Sigma female, once trust is broken, it's a deal breaker. There's no going back. It's not personal, it's about protecting herself and her inner circle from further harm. The people who have betrayed her will be left behind, and she will move on. She doesn't waste time trying to mend relationships with people who don't deserve her. She has too much self-respect to do that. If you've ever felt betrayed and want to share your experience or thoughts on how Sigma females deal with it, leave a comment below and share your perspective. And don't forget to subscribe for more insights. Reputation damage. For the person who broke her trust, the consequences are far-reaching. They face lasting repercussions in their circle. The consequences of betrayal extend far beyond the relationship between the Sigma female and the person who has hurt her. When she cuts someone off, it's not just about the two of them anymore. It impacts the wider social circle too. A Sigma female's reputation is built on her integrity, loyalty, and strength. She doesn't get involved in petty drama or unnecessary conflicts, and when someone betrays her, it's not something she takes lightly. She will not hesitate to let people know why that person is no longer part of her life, but she won't do it in a vindictive or bitter way. She doesn't need to create drama. The truth of the betrayal speaks for itself. People who know her will see the situation for what it is. They'll understand that someone has crossed a line with her. Her reputation will be damaged, yes, but only for those who were on the wrong side of her. For those who respect her, they will see her as a person of strength, someone who knows her worth and is unwilling to tolerate disrespect. However, for the person who betrayed her, the damage is much more significant. When a Sigma female cuts someone off, it's not just about her personal feelings. The person who betrayed her faces a ripple effect throughout their own social circle. People who know her will take notice. and they will start to question the person's character. Trust is a precious commodity, and when someone breaks it with a Sigma female, it's hard to regain it with anyone else. Her decision to cut that person out of her life sends a clear message to those around her. People will start to wonder why they are still keeping someone around who has proven to be untrustworthy. The betrayal becomes a reflection of that person's character, and in the long run, it damages their reputation far more than it damages hers. The person who betrayed her will find that their social circle begins to shrink. Friends may distance themselves, and colleagues may question their integrity. No one wants to be associated with someone who has shown themselves to be disloyal. The Sigma female's decision to cut them off has a far-reaching impact, and the person who hurt her will be left to face the consequences of their actions in their own circle. They may try to repair the damage, but the trust they've broken can never be fully restored. People are not easily fooled, and once someone's reputation has been tarnished, it's difficult to regain the trust of others. The Sigma female's reputation will remain intact, and she will continue to be respected by those who understand the value of loyalty. But for the betrayer, their actions will haunt them, and the consequences will follow them for a long time. The damage they've caused will not be easily undone, and the people who were once in their life will begin to drift away, leaving them with nothing but the aftermath of their betrayal. The consequences of breaking a Sigma female's trust are far-reaching, and they don't just affect her. They affect the betrayer in ways they might never fully comprehend. They'll find that the world becomes smaller for them, and the people who once stood by them will now question their character, leaving them with lasting repercussions for their actions. Sigma females are survivors, and they build their inner circle carefully. They know what it takes to thrive in a world that often demands more than they're willing to give. They've learned through experience that not everyone is trustworthy, and not everyone deserves to be in their lives. Their inner circle, the small group of people they allow to get close, is built on trust, loyalty, and respect. They don't hand out their trust easily because they know the value of it. They understand that trust is something that must be earned. It's not a gift that is given lightly. It's something that is built over time, brick by brick. And once that trust is given, it is a bond that is sacred to them. It's a bond that they expect to be respected and honored, not just by their inner circle, but by everyone they interact with. Sigma females are very selective about who they allow into their lives. They don't need a large group of people to feel fulfilled. They don't crave constant social validation. What they crave is authenticity. They want people who are real, people who can be trusted, people who will stand by them no matter what. When they build their inner circle, it's built on these qualities. Each person in their inner circle is someone who has proven themselves worthy of their trust. They've shown through their actions, not just their words, that they can be counted on. They've demonstrated their loyalty, their integrity, and their commitment to standing by the Sigma female, no matter the circumstances. Sigma females don't need fake friends, or people who only want to be around when it's convenient for them. They don't tolerate superficial relationships. For them, relationships must be deep, meaningful, and genuine. That's why they're so careful about who they let in. Their inner circle is not something they take lightly. It's a space that is earned, and it's a space that's fiercely protected. The people in their lives have to prove their worth, and that worth is demonstrated over time, not through promises or empty words. They've learned the hard way that trust can be broken in an instant, but once it's broken, it's impossible to rebuild. The Sigma female doesn't waste time on people who don't measure up to her standards. She doesn't entertain relationships with people who show signs of disloyalty or dishonesty. She knows the cost of betrayal, and she won't allow herself to go through it again. Once she lets someone into her inner circle, it's a privilege, and that privilege is not taken lightly. These people become her closest allies, her trusted companions. They're the ones who will be there when the world feels heavy, when she's going through difficult times, and when everything else seems uncertain. And for those people, they know that the bond they share with her is one that will last. They know that when they stand by a Sigma female, they're standing by someone who is fiercely loyal, deeply committed, and unyielding in her devotion. But the trust she gives is not unconditional, it's earned. Once broken, it's gone forever. The Sigma female is not someone who gives second chances easily, especially when it comes to trust. She believes in forgiveness, but she also believes in protecting herself from further harm. When someone betrays her trust, it's not just a small wound, it's a deep, irreversible cut. It's a violation of the bond they share, and once that bond is broken, it's gone. There's no going back. For a Sigma female, loyalty is everything. If you break her trust, you break the foundation of your relationship with her, and that's not something that can be easily fixed. She's not someone who will forget the betrayal. She might forgive, but the trust will never be the same again. Once the foundation of trust is cracked, it's hard to rebuild it. The walls go back up, and the Sigma female becomes more guarded, more careful, more selective about who she lets in. She learns from the experience, becoming stronger, more resilient, and more determined not to make the same mistake twice. The bond she shares with those in her inner circle is unbreakable because it's built on mutual respect, trust, and loyalty. But that bond is also fragile. It's only as strong as the people who are part of it. And once that trust is broken, it can never be repaired. The Sigma female doesn't tolerate disloyalty. She doesn't tolerate betrayal. She understands the value of loyalty, and she expects it from those she lets into her life. For her, loyalty isn't just a word. It's a way of life. It's something that defines who she is and how she lives. When someone betrays her trust, they not only lose her, but they also lose the privilege of being part of her world. That person is cut off, and the Sigma female moves on. She doesn't dwell on the betrayal. She doesn't try to fix it. She simply removes the person from her life and moves forward. It's not about revenge or holding a grudge. It's about protecting her peace and maintaining the integrity of her inner circle. Sigma females know the importance of surrounding themselves with the right people. They know that the people they choose to keep in their lives have a significant impact on their well-being. They are the ones who will either support her dreams or hinder them. They are the ones who will either uplift her or drag her down. And because of this, the Sigma female is extremely selective about who she allows to be a part of her life. She won't settle for anything less than the best. She knows her worth, and she knows that she deserves to be surrounded by people who treat her with the same level of respect and loyalty that she gives to them. Her inner circle is sacred. It's a place where only those who have earned her trust are allowed to enter. And once that trust is earned, it's something that will last. It's a bond that's unbreakable, forged through time, loyalty, and mutual respect. The people in her life who are worthy of that bond know how lucky they are to have her. They know that she's someone who will stand by them through thick and thin, no matter what. But they also know that if they break that trust, if they betray her, they will be out of her life for good. There are no second chances. The Sigma female doesn't waste her time on people who can't be trusted. She values herself too much to let anyone who has hurt her back into her life. Once someone is cut off, they are gone, forever. That's the unbreakable code that the Sigma female lives by. She knows the power of loyalty, and she knows the pain of betrayal. And because of that, she only allows those who truly deserve her trust to be a part of her world. It's a code she lives by, and it's one that ensures that her inner circle remains strong, unwavering, and full of people who will always honor the bond they share with her. Pause for a second. If you want to hear more on how betrayal affects relationships, hit that like button, subscribe, and drop a comment on how you handle broken trust. We all have a unique approach. They learn from every experience, strengthening their resolve through every challenge. Life isn't always easy, and for a Sigma female, it's no different. She has faced adversity, hardship, and betrayal, but through every challenge, she grows stronger. Each experience, whether it's a triumph or a failure, is a lesson. For her, life is about learning, evolving, and becoming better. She doesn't shy away from challenges. In fact, she welcomes them. Every obstacle she faces is an opportunity to grow, an opportunity to sharpen her skills, and an opportunity to build resilience. She understands that challenges are a part of life, and how she responds to them shapes who she is. She doesn't see setbacks as failures, but rather as stepping stones toward her ultimate goals. Every hardship she faces adds a new layer to her strength. Every trial she endures sharpens her resolve. She knows that resilience isn't built in comfort, it's built in adversity. Her ability to bounce back from setbacks and keep moving forward is a testament to her strength. She doesn't get discouraged easily. She doesn't give up when things get tough. Instead, she digs deeper, pushes harder, and finds ways to overcome the obstacles in her path. The Sigma female understands that each challenge she faces is a part of her journey. It's not about avoiding difficulties, but about learning to navigate them with grace and strength. Each time she faces adversity, she becomes more determined, more focused, and more driven to achieve her goals. The lessons she learns from these experiences aren't just academic, they're deeply personal. They shape the way she sees the world, the way she interacts with others, and the way she views herself. She learns about her own limits and pushes beyond them. She learns about the importance of perseverance, the value of patience, and the need to trust in herself, even when the road ahead seems uncertain. These experiences don't break her, they build her. They strengthen her resolve to keep going, no matter what comes her way. For a Sigma female, the challenges she faces aren't obstacles. They're opportunities to prove her resilience and her ability to adapt. Every time life knocks her down, she gets back up stronger, wiser, and more determined than before. She becomes more confident in her ability to handle whatever life throws her way. Her legacy is one of loyalty, a reminder to the world that loyalty isn't just a word, it's a principle to live by. Loyalty is not something she takes lightly. It's the foundation of her relationships, the core of her values, and the essence of who she is. She doesn't give her loyalty to just anyone. It's something that must be earned. It's something that has to be proven over time. But once she gives her loyalty, it's unshakable. She stands by the people she trusts, no matter what. She supports them through thick and thin, always ready to offer her unwavering commitment. Her loyalty isn't dependent on convenience or personal gain. It's a deeply ingrained principle that she lives by every day. To her, loyalty means being there for someone when they need you most, even when it's not easy. It means standing up for those who matter to her, even when the world is against them. It means being dependable, trustworthy, and true to your word. For the Sigma female, loyalty is a two-way street. She expects the same loyalty she gives to others. She doesn't tolerate betrayal or dishonesty. If you break her trust, it's gone forever, and you'll never have the chance to prove your loyalty again. She doesn't just forgive and forget. She protects herself from people who don't respect her loyalty. This is part of her legacy, a legacy built on the understanding that loyalty is earned, not given. She sets the standard for how she expects to be treated. Her unwavering loyalty becomes a beacon for those who share the same values. It attracts the right people, the ones who understand the power of loyalty and respect her for it. Her inner circle is composed of those who have proven their loyalty, those who understand that loyalty isn't just a word, it's a way of life. Are you someone who's built their inner circle carefully? Like and comment if you agree that loyalty should always be earned. And don't forget to subscribe if you want more empowering content like this. Through her actions, she teaches others the importance of loyalty. She shows them that it's not about being loyal when it's easy or when it benefits you. True loyalty is about being there when it's difficult, when it requires sacrifice, and when it demands more from you than you might feel capable of giving. Her legacy of loyalty goes beyond the relationships she forms. It's a reminder to the world that loyalty isn't something to be taken for granted. It's something that must be nurtured, protected, and honored. She teaches those around her that loyalty is not a one-time gesture. It's a continuous, steadfast commitment. It's a value that defines how we treat one another and how we build relationships. The Sigma female's legacy is a testament to the power of loyalty in a world that often falls short of it. Her life is a reminder that loyalty is rare, but it's also something that can change the world when it's given and received in equal measure. Her actions speak louder than her words ever could, and through her example, she shows the world the true meaning of loyalty. For the Sigma female, loyalty is more than just a principle. It's the driving force behind her relationships, her actions, and her decisions. It's what makes her stand out in a world that sometimes feels disconnected. Her loyalty is a bond that holds her relationships together, and it's what makes those relationships so special. It's a reminder that loyalty is not a fleeting feeling. It's a foundation that lasts a lifetime. Her legacy will live on in the lives of those she's touched, in the people she's inspired, and in the way she's shown the world that loyalty isn't just a word. It's something we should all strive to live by.